One second, please. Excuse me. I apologize. Good afternoon. Hello. Thank you for joining me. Let's get started. Let me turn off the background music. Do you guys know what's going on today? I hope you know what's going on today. Hey, Nappy Child. It is good to see you. Good afternoon. I just decided to come on here. I had something going on in the morning, and I will not let news build up on me because it's bad enough when this administration and all its shenanigans build up on you over the weekend. So God knows I will not limit myself and miss a day. When you miss a day, you miss a month of this administration. So I'm going to be talking about a few things that I have planned to talk about. One of the things that I definitely want to talk about is how your president said that the crown prince of Saudi Arabia didn't know that he was going to have to be kissing Trump's ass. Trump said he didn't know he would be kissing my ass. And make sure you guys tell him he has to treat me nice. Now, let's see. Let's see if we remember who Masama bin Masama what MBS Masama bin Salman really is, the crown prince of Saudi Arabia. That would be the same person that Trump's own CIA in his first administration told him that was responsible for unaliving, chopping up a Washington Post reporter. Remember when that happened? And remember when they thought that your president at the time, when he was president 45, was going to admonish the crown prince of Saudi Arabia. And what did your president do at that time? Your president said, well, he seems like a very nice guy. And he poo-pooed your own CIA information, saying that it was likely that Osama bin Laden ordered the hit on Jamal just what is his name? Jamal Khashoggi, I believe his name is, something to that effect. Your president said, "Nah, I'm going to go with the Crown Prince for 200 Alex." Why did your president go with the Crown Prince? Shortly thereafter, after the administration was over, Jared Kushner, the one who couldn't clear a security background check, who 45, 47 put over everything Israel related in his first administration. Suddenly, he got a $2 billion check from Saudi Arabia. The Sovereign Wealth Fund did not want to give him that $2 billion check, but it was overridden by whom? MBS. So one hand washing the other. Would you call that? Is that what you call that? A hedge fund uh, operation that Jared Kushner just started, just opened up, had never been in business with, received $2 billion from Saudi Arabia. Now, here we are in a ill-gotten war that we have absolutely nothing to win in this war. Everything in this war is things that we are losing in this war. However, we have a whole lot of military installments in different countries in the Middle East. One of the countries is Saudi Arabia. One of the country that is getting hit, their military installations that we have in their countries are getting hit, is because 45, 47 decided to start a war in Saudi Arabia. Not only is Iran saying that they're going to strike our military installments in these other countries, they're also saying if this war escalates any further, they are also going to start striking universities, because their universities have been struck. I believe it's Yale, who has uh, it's either Yale or Columbia, who has a university in Dubai, a joint university in Dubai. They have closed down their university because they don't want their school to get hit. Because you know what they're seeing? They're seeing that Iran is true to their words. So they came through United States and Israel have struck many universities in Iran. So Iran said that they will do the same. Uh, they will do the same in exchange for what was done to them. So they have many installations of U.S. schools in all of these different countries. Now, it has been reported that Saudi Arabia and Israel are the main ones who want our troops, our blood, our treasure to continue to go after Iran. So what I'm getting at is it possible that Jared Kushner was paid $2 billion for nothing that he has any excellence in, nothing that he has excelled in, nothing that he knows anything about? He gets $2 billion, and then in turn, uh, Saudi Arabia gets the military. Saudi Arabia gets the lives of our military people. Saudi Arabia gets their will done via a airhead, a president, uh, and his greedy Jewish son-in-law who doesn't care about anything but the Jewish people and getting money, and therefore our military are sent out to die for the will of a country that does not do anything for the American people, and there is actually nothing that the American people are gaining for this but the loss of lives of our sons and daughters. Is this what's going on? How much are your sons and daughters getting paid of this $2 billion that was given to Jared Kushner for this war that MBS wants to continue with Iran? So, does Jared Kushner have a security force that he's able to send out at the ready on the whim of Saudi Arabia? It seems like he does, and that security force that he has on the ready seems to be the United States military. Quid pro quo. all of those all of those buildings and all of those golf courses that were agreed upon when 4547 took his first trip out of the country to the Middle East, that he procured with Saudi Arabia, that he's putting the money in his personal pocket, in his personal wallet, his personal wealth. So, to procure these agreements, were the lives of American soldiers brokered to protect anything? And was this a part of, hey, the United States can protect you from people who dodged the draft themselves, who would not fight for the United States themselves? But now we have boots on the ground. We are sending, they say, approximately 5,000 troops are already there for boots on the ground. So is this what we're doing? Exactly. Are American soldiers excited for the privilege to go die for Israel? Exactly. So, I'm just rambling. Will you tell me something different? Tell me where I was wrong, since I'm just rambling. What specifically did I say that was incorrect? Be specific. See, you're just mad because you can't handle the truth, so you're turning it on me, the person who told you absolute truth. Yeah, I did say Bin Laden at first, but I knew it was B. Oh my God, my dog. Uh, what is his name? The Crown Prince. I always get his name confused. Hold on. I apologize. I had to stop my dog from barking. Um, uh, what is his name? I'm going to tell you his name right now. We're going to talk about that. Uh, we also are going to talk BMS. BMS are his initials. His name is the Saudi Crown Prince. We're going to call him BMS. That's what we're going to call him. So we're also going to talk about the head of your Defense Department. Are you aware that the head of your Defense Department tried to make a tried to make a stock trade to buy into defense funding. Are you guys aware of that? Peak Hexelf broker looks to buy defense funds right when? In February, early February, right before the war. Did you guys know that? Are you guys aware of that? Yes, Peak Kegbreath went to BlackRock and tried to buy into some defense stock. Is that insider trading? Would your defense secretary know that the United States was about to go to war and then try to profit off of the fact that the United States was about to go to war? Are you skeptical? Do you say, "Oh no, that doesn't make sense"? Pete Kegbreath would never do that, or does that seem totally logical of the people that have been chosen to be in the top rings of this administration? We're going to talk about that as well. What else are we going to talk about today? We're going to talk about the Pentagon. Now, while Pete Kegbreath in early February, prior to us going to this ill-gained folly of war that we are in, while he was looking to make stock trades to make money. What he was not doing, he was not busy creating a plan to fight said war. So now, belatedly, do you know that your military, according to the Stars and Stripe publication, the Pentagon asks for pre-made bunkers that can be quickly shipped to the Middle East? So why is the Pentagon looking for pre-made bunkers belatedly that can be shipped to the Middle East? Okay, so if you're not aware, there have been several deflections from the UN because people feel that they could not speak freely and warn the masses that they are prepping for a nuclear strike. Did you know that? Are you aware of that? No, many of you may not be aware of that because none of this is being talked about in the media. Okay, what else are we going to talk about today? Real quickly. Uh, what else? What else do we have? Okay, let's get into. Let me see if you guys knew of any of that. It seems I don't have any comment on any of that. Did anybody correct me on what I was wrong about? Can you tell me anything? No, I'm not reading anything. I'm giving you the news of today. So all of this, what I should read, you should stay on topic, sweetheart. You should really stay on topic. Because if you have no comment to say on the material that I'm giving, I'm not interested. Mohammed bin Salam. Yes. Are you the arbiter of truth? Is Iran a terrorist country? Has Iran offed Americans? Oh, well, is America a terrorist country? Is Israel a terrorist country? Has America off children? Has America off children in many different separate schools? Has America off innocent people living in hospitals? Has What country would you like to call a terrorist state and excuse the war crimes that other countries commit? Is that what we're going to do? Are we going to ignore the war crimes committed by one country to say that Iran is a terrorist country? Are we doing that? Are we doing that? Are we going to ignore? No, we're not going to ignore the history of America. Speaking of the history of America, let's be reminded about the history of America and their crimes against humanity, shall we? Since you brought that up, thank you. I appreciate that. So let's get into America, uh, shall we? Here we go. So are we gonna pretend like we do not know what America has always been capable of? Are we going to pretend like our tax dollars have not been funneled to Israel repeatedly? Are we going to pretend like we are unaware that Benjamin Netanyahu is one of the ones who was financially financing Hamas? Is that what we're doing? Are we going to pretend like there's not reports that Benjamin Netanyahu was the one who was paying Hamas? Is that what we're doing? Is telling the truth on my country hating my country? You don't know what hating my country is. If I hated my country, I would not tell the truth about my country. I am the daughter of war soldiers, not just soldiers who fought and died for this country. So I should sit up and lie, and that means I love this country. The love of this country is to ignore the wrongs of this country, as your president sits up and says that he will attack desalination plants to make it impossible for a whole nation of people to have clean water, a war crime. So it's okay for your president to go on TV and say that he's going to commit a war crime by striking desalination plants so people in a region cannot have clean water. But I hate my country because I'm telling the truth about our president going on TV saying he's going to commit a war crime. How has that investigation that Pete Kegbreath said he was under the way of discovering who struck that school that killed 168 grade age girls in Iran on day one of this illegal war? How is that going? Have you heard the outcome of that investigation, or have you heard about the new investigation into the second school where they debuted a missile that they had never used that also killed children, that also struck a school and a sporting arena where children were playing soccer. So I hate my country because this is what my country is doing. I'm supposed to ignore that this is what my country is doing. I am supposed to not tell you what the Geneva Convention tells you are war crimes. And I hate my country because in the words of Pete Kegbreath, his hands have been unleashed, and this president is allowing him to fight the way that they need to fight. And this same Pete Kegbreath, in his confirmation hearings, said that he cannot be his hands cannot be tied by rules made in wood panel walls back 80 years ago, describing the rules of the Geneva Convention. And now he comes out and says his hands have been loosened from those rules of 80 years ago. You know, the Geneva Convention. While you talking dumb shit to me, do you think that the dumb shit that you talking means anything to me? No, it doesn't. Save that shit. If you can't listen to it, goodbye. Let's continue. Hit the like button on your way out. Um, Stephenson, sorry, it's off topic, but everyone should research the brands owned by Nestle Corporation and boycott them. Hey, Foot Soldier, it is good to see you. Well, thank you for telling us that. Now, we do know that the Nestle Corporation has been implicit in the state of California for overusing water rights. They had water rights for a particular well in California, and after their rights were over, they continued to take the water. During a drought in California, the Nestle Corporation continued to go in and just take mounds and mounds of water for free in the middle of a drought from a county that wanted them to stop stealing the water. So we do know that water to create their products and to sell their products. So I definitely know a little bit about the Nestle corporations. They do evil all over the world. Okay, I'm going to check that out so I can update myself. You can continue to drop any information that you have in the chat. I'm not prepared for the Nestle Corporation because I don't want to forget the things that I really am here to talk about. Now, speaking of war crimes, if you don't believe it from me, I have some news reporting that I would like to share with you. Let's Caitlin Collins. Let's go to Caitlin Collins. This link will be number one in my description box. You can revisit it at your leisure. Let's see what Caitlin Collins. Caitlin Collins calls out new Trump threats as potential war crimes. Potential. Let's see what Caitlin is saying. Oh, we have to go through a commercial. Hold on 1 second. And let's really get into some facts. This link is number one in my description box. Under Collins, Caitlin Collins. One second.
Tonight, thousands more of American troops have arrived in the Middle East as President Trump is toggling between two drastically different trajectories for the war against Iran. On one hand, the president is taking his threat to completely obliterate Iran's energy sites even further, now suggesting that the United States could possibly target water desalination plants in a move that could cut off the clean water supply to tens of millions of ordinary Iranians and, as critics will note, could amount to a war crime. In that same post, though, as you keep reading, the president also argued that great progress is being made in what he described as a serious discussion with a new and more reasonable regime in Iran. That echoes what he told reporters last night on Air Force One.
We've had regime change. You look already because the one regime was decimated, destroyed. They're all dead. The next regime is mostly dead. And the third regime, we're dealing with different people than anybody's dealt with before. It's a whole different group of people. So I would consider that regime change. And frankly, they've been very reasonable. So I think we've had regime change.
There's a whole new bunch of people. The first regime we killed. The second regime, his son is dead, or most of them are dead. So the third regime we're talking to, they're very reasonable people. So if they are very reasonable people and everything is going so well, why then the threats of striking desalination plants? Why then the threat of striking all of their nuclear facilities? Why then the threat of no, there was actually no threat. On Monday night, they actually just went in and struck all of their universities. If they are such reasonable people and talks are going so well, I remember the first time we struck Iran in June, they were in the middle of negotiations. Strikes were going so well, and then all of a sudden, we flew all the way over to Iran to strike them. I remember in February, in the middle of these negotiations, they left the table in November and said that the Iranians had. Agreed to give them more than what they had agreed to in that agreement that they had signed with President Obama, where inspectors were going in and assured that there were no proliferation of war grade uranium. So these things were actually done. These things were actually proven by an independent inspector that went in, and they were giving you more in the negotiations at the end of February than they had given Obama. It had been reported on Thursday when Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner left those negotiations to be resumed on Monday. You guys were shaking hands and had a whole lot of smiles. And then what happened on Saturday? You were to resume these talks on the following Monday. But then on Saturday, you went in and struck this country. So what about your negotiations going smoothly should lull us into any type of sense of security or any type of sense of sanity when we know that in the middle of your own negotiation, you have gone out and struck this country, and you still have not been able to give us a reason why. So we are supposed to believe that we will end this war if they open up the Strait of Hormuz. But bitch, before you started the war, the Strait of Hormuz were wide open. So why is it conditional that the Strait of Hormuz be open before you end the war? Or you may end the war and you may leave the Strait of Hormuz closed, and it may be up to other nations who had nothing to do with the closing of Strait of Hormuz. It may be up to them to negotiate the opening of the Strait of Hormuz. So my question is, what were you in Iran for? What was your reason? If the reasoning is to make sure the Strait of Hormuz is open before you close, they were open before you went there. If the reason for you to be there is to make other nations open up the Strait of Hormuz, so if that is the reason, why were you there? What were your objectives? What stated objective have you reached? Absolutely none. You went there because you were told to go there by Israel and Saudi Arabia. Period. Let's continue.
And also, for the first time tonight, the president is naming that third regime, as he describes it there, that he says his administration has been dealing with. The president confirms what we had largely suspected. It's the speaker of Iran's parliament, Mohammad Ghalibaf. The President Trump told the Financial Times that the United States will find out in about a week if Ghalibaf is someone that it can truly negotiate with.
Mohammad Ghalibaf, does he have any power to even negotiate and make good on what the things that you are negotiating on? Are you speaking to him directly, or are you passing messages via Pakistan to him and receiving messages back from Pakistan from him? But what power as far as I'm concerned, we've changed regime. So, what confirmation do you have, since you, as far as you're concerned, that you've changed regime when the son of the other, uh, since the son from the other, what is it? The other, the other supreme leader is still alive, and he is in charge of Iran. Since you want to say that you speculate if he's dead or alive, so where's the proof that he is dead? Since you want to say, well, I don't even know if he's alive. As far as I'm concerned, we have changed regime. But what confirmation do you have of him being dead? And even if he is dead, what confirmation do you have that this person is now in charge and is able to make any agreements with anybody? You have no substantive proof that this person who you are allegedly negotiating with have any power in this nation. Let's be clear. How do I know? Let's continue. I know you guys find it hard to take the word of a black woman. That's why I always bring my news clips. I know how you are.
This is what the Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, said about that front today.
Well, I'm not going to disclose to you who those people are because it probably would get them in trouble with some other groups of.
Well, I'm not going to disclose who those people are because it'll probably get them in trouble. Oh, so now that they're going to get in trouble for telling you who they're negotiating with. Because they don't even know if negotiating with even have negotiation power to move anything. A bunch of dummies. A bunch of dummies. You're not going to tell us. I'm not going to tell you. Nanny, nanny, nanny. Nanny, nanny. A bunch of immature dummies.
People inside of Iran. Look, there's some fractures going on there internally. And there are new people now in charge who have a more reasonable vision of the future. That would be good news for us, for them, for the entire world. But we also have to be prepared.
There are new people in charge. That is a statement of fact. That is a statement of if it is so. So how are you going to say that there are new people in charge and that would be good for us? If what? That would be good for us if what? If my aunt was born with a penis, she'd be my uncle. What good does if have to do in any of the statement of facts? If you put a if, there is no facts. There are no facts once you put the word if into it. Let's go back a little bit and hear this nimnut talk this dumb shit all by himself.
The entire world. But we also have to be prepared for the possibility for the entire world. But we also internally, and there are new people now in charge who have a more reasonable. Look, there's some fractures going on there internally. And there are new people now in charge who have a more reasonable vision of the future. That would be good news for us, for them, for the entire world. But we also have to be prepared for the possibility, maybe even the probability, that that is not the case.
So you're telling us there are new people in charge, and that would be good for us and the entire world. But we have to be prepared for. We don't know who the fuck is running Iran. We don't know who the fuck we are negotiating with. We don't know if we are negotiating in good faith with anyone. We don't know if we are negotiating with people who have the power to bring forth what they are negotiating on. This is your government. This is your government. How embarrassing. These people are unapologetic in their ignorance. Unapologetic in their ignorance.
Now, on that note, Iranian officials are still denying that talks are even happening between the United States and Iran. And Ghalibaf, who is the Iranian parliament speaker, accused President Trump of signaling negotiation in public while secretly plotting a ground attack in private, as he warned that Iranian forces are ready and waiting for U.S. troops to arrive on the ground.
So does this sound like the man who is negotiating with your government? You hear what he has to say for himself. He said that they are fronting like they are negotiating, when in fact that they are stalling to get the troops there to get hammered on the ground. But he says this is who they're negotiating with, and he seems to be a very nice person. He is letting you know that he's not negotiating with you, and he know you are on some bullshit. So he don't know why you're out here acting as if he is the person that you're negotiating with. That's what he said. While we, I'm not going to tell you who it is because we can put him in danger. I'm not going to tell a bunch of bullshit. At what point is the Senate and the Congress going to throw these people out of office? And see, these are who else I'm sick and tired of at this moment. Because at this juncture, while we have other nations who are making sure that the people in their nation are rationing. They're rationing water. They're rationing energy. They're rationing gas. We have countries that actually have the people in their country rationing because they understand that shit is about to get real fucked up. With the Houthis over there in the other strait, about to close down the Red Sea, the strait that goes through the Red Sea. You have the Philippines, you have Korea are rationing things, telling you only do certain things on certain days. You know what rationing is? They're saving so they can have something because they know a hard day is coming. But what is your foolish president and your foolish administration telling the foolish people of America? The foolish people of America who act as if nothing's coming. The foolish people of America who are just lollying in their alcohol addiction, their drug addictions, who are spending money on this. How many of you actually have any generators that is not running on gas? How many of you have generators? How many of you stupid motherfuckers have gas or power generators? Huh? How many? So, so you ready? You ready for this? But you don't even have a solar generator. So you think that somebody in the midst of a gas crisis is going to have a special lane for your dumb ass to fill up your gas generator? No, while you are sitting up here clogging up a lane trying to fill up a gas can, somebody gonna come and pistol whip your ass and with that gas pump. Ain't nobody playing no games. Americans are acting dumb and stupid. And this is the wrong time to be dumb and stupid. Listening to this dumb and stupid administration.
Today, the White House downplayed those denials, though, from Iran.
Despite all of the public posturing you hear from the regime and false reporting, talks are continuing and going well.
So they said what they wanted to say. They named a person, and the named person came out and told you it was bullshit. And she comes out, besides all the posturing and false information you're getting, but who has been giving you the most false information throughout the entirety of this operation? So when somebody from the administration, but they said that this was a good, trustworthy person and that they believe in this person. And when this person comes out and said, they're not negotiating with me. They're not negotiating with me. They come out and says that he's lying. But who has been lying to you all this time? Make it make sense. It doesn't. It makes absolutely no sense.
What is said publicly is, of course, much different than what's being communicated to us privately.
Now, this comes as sources are telling my colleagues here at CNN that the Trump administration is still not sure it's talking to the right people in Iran, meaning it's not clear to U.S. officials whether the Iranian officials that they are speaking with and using as a back channel through Pakistan and Turkey have the ultimate authority to sign off on any peace agreement, let alone.
They're still not sure they're talking to the right people. But she comes out here and says, no matter what you hear from any other source, it is wrong information. And they just don't want to tell you the information. Kind of like Marco Rubio said, I'm not going to tell you who we're talking to. They may not want it known. Now, when the person that they name your president, Marco Rubio and President Trump are never on the same page. Marco Rubio says one thing, Trump says the opposite, or vice versa on every day in this fucking conflict. Every day in this conflict. Marco Rubio is not going to give you names, and President Trump names a name. And when the named person comes out and tells you, no, that is bullshit, I'm not negotiating with them. I'm seeing them for what this is. They're trying to put up a lot of stall tactics to until the troops get here so they can do a ground game. What makes more sense? What Marco Rubio and Trump is telling you, I'm not going to tell you what the name of the person is, and we're negotiating, and they seem, and they don't even know if these people, this man that they're negotiating with has power. Is that what I told you? Oh, I guess you'll believe it if a white woman like Caitlin Collins tell you the same thing.
Alone implement one. That uncertainty comes as the president, his sources are telling my colleagues here at CNN that the Trump administration is still not sure it's talking to the right people in Iran, meaning it's not clear to U.S. officials whether the Iranian officials that they are speaking with and using as a back channel through Pakistan and Turkey have the ultimate authority to sign off on any peace agreement, let alone implement one. That uncertainty comes as the president has continued to publicly float several major military options, which would carry significant risk for U.S. forces should he take them. He told the Financial Times, maybe we take Kharg Island, maybe we don't. We have a lot of options, and it would also mean we had to be there for a while. Kharg Island is where 90% of Iran's oil exports flow through, as the president also mused about the notion of the United States potentially taking Iranian oil. He says that would actually be his favorite thing, but he also added this, saying, quote, some stupid people back in the US say, why are you doing that? But he added, they're stupid people.
So, he says that he should just steal their oil. How would that,
Here's to timeless journeys and time
hold on.
well spent.
Let's be clear.
To distant lands.
He says that he should just steal their oil. So, who's going to pocket the money when the oil is sold? See, like, let's take him at his word. That he should just steal the oil. He has this grand idea that he should just steal all the Iranian oil, as he says that we don't need the oil, that the United States has more oil than Iran. So, who's going to pocket the money from the sales of that oil? So, who has pocketed the sales from the oil in Venezuela that has already been sold? And the reason why there has not been more oil from Venezuela sold by the United States is because a judge has ruled that the United States do not have the right to sell Venezuelan oil. But there has been the first sale of Venezuelan oil. Who has possession of that money? Who has control and possession of that money? Your president has a singular control and possession of that money in a offshore bank account. He is the only one who can access that money. So hold on one second. So what you're telling me is that you have paid your tax dollar to finance the military to go over to these countries and spend blood and treasure, and the spoils of the war are going to go in the pocket of the president. Is that what you're telling me? Is that what you're telling me? Because we have seen him for his works. And what his works have shown is that the first sale of Venezuelan oil, he has total control of the money that was paid for that first wave of Venezuelan oil. And I'm pretty sure had not a court ruled that this administration cannot sell the Venezuelan oil, there would have been much more money under his control from the oil sales from Venezuela. So now, at what point, if we don't need their oil, if we create so much oil, what point do you think that this motherfucker is not looking out to make wealth on a whole nation's oil for himself? Because what else has he looked out to make sure he has done for the American people? Do you think he is not even trying to figure out a way to make you believe that this will benefit you as an American? As he has taken, this is some crazy shit. This is the most craziest shit in the world. I'm going to take your tax dollar and I'm going to invade another country and I'm going to steal their oil, and the sales from the proceeds from the sale, I'm going to put in an offshore bank account that only I have access to. Where they do that at? And this person is allowed to stay in government as the president. Where on earth are they not throwing this person in jail for war crimes? Where on earth is there a Congress and a Senate allowing this person to run roughshod and waste our tax dollars to try to make personal gains and create war crimes, shooting up schools, shooting up hospitals for his personal gain? At, at what point in any of these talks that have gone on about this war has anybody told the American people how going to this war is going to improve your life? What improvements have anyone tried to tell you that this war would improve your life? What they have told you about these high ass gas prices, well, it's going to be a little pain for the pleasure of what? It's going to be a little plain. It's going to be a little painful. That's all they told you that you have coming is pain. Pain from the high prices of oil, pain from the high prices of everything, pain from the blockage of every product that needs to flow to the West, pain from you not being able to get MRIs because there's no more helium coming to the United States. All those type of pains, medical pain, physical pains. Oh, and let's not forget the pains that the Republicans are thinking of bringing upon you because they want to cut back on health care for Americans, on health insurance for Americans to pay for this folly of war. That's all they have to offer you is a bunch of pain. And you guys are not up in arms about any of this. This administration still has supporter. Okay. Hey, Very Carrie, it's good to see you. Uh, Inside the Trump selection process, I can't hit that link for some reason. Let me see. Let me see if I can hit it if I go to. Hey, Leonard, did I speak? Let me see if I can hit it if I go to the regular chat. Nope. Uh, I, yes, he did. Octavius. He set Trump up for the epic fail. Let me. Uh, Nestle is feeding you uh a Solian green, RonyiQ, under the guise of natural ingredients. When he admits BB's gonna wake me up. Okay. I don't see that link. I'm a drop my link. If you Leonard, if you want to drop that link in the back chat, I may be able to pull the link up. But with you dropping it in the chat, I am unable to bring it up. Let me drop my link. And you don't have to come up. I won't bring you up. Just drop the link in the back chat, and I will be able to pull it up. When I see you come back, just drop it. It says back chat, and I will put you down. I'm not going to bring you up. I will just I will kick you out of the link, and I can check that link out. Okay. So what else did I want to share with you today? Oh, let's share a interesting story. I'm not sure. Some comic relief. How about a little comic relief? If you guys are unaware of this, before we go into our next story, I thought that this was quite interesting. I talked about a lot about Kristi Noem, of the married Kristi Noem, who was allegedly screwing around with Corey Lewandowski, a 45-47's last political advisor who ran his last campaign, who was then hired on as his chief of staff, and they had to get rid of him because he was allegedly touching the body of one of Trump's donors at a dinner, and doing all of this lewd type of body touching on this woman. And now it was reported that he and Kristi Noem were messing around and had bedrooms on these private aircraft that she was buying as part of the Department of Homeland Security. She made sure that she had fuck rooms aboard these private jets. So guess what interesting story has popped up about the Noem family. I told you that Kristi Noem was married. I wonder if you guys knew this. Okay, Kristi Noem's husband, accused of living a double life as a cross-dresser obsessed with bimbo uh, bimbofication kink. Bimbofication kink. Let me remove this ad. Now, this is a reported picture of Kristi Noem, her husband, and then to the right, there is another purported picture of Kristi Noem's husband himself. Go figure. Did you guys know about this? Brian Noem, the husband of former Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem, was accused on Tuesday of living a double life as a cross-dresser obsessed with donning huge fake boobs and talking to fetish models online. In a job-dropping report published on Tuesday, Daily Mail chief investigative reporter Josh Boswell and senior reporter Ben Ashford published several photos of a man identified by the newspaper as Noem posing for the camera in large fake breasts and hot pants while pouting. Lord have mercy. The two reporters also spoke to several fetish models who claimed to have had an online relationship with Noem involving bimbofication. No wonder his wife did her face and her body like that. No wonder Kristi Noem has uh, distorted her face to look like the Madam Puppet and got these big ass fucking titties on her fucking bony ass chest while she looked anorexic and bimboic at the same time. So no wonder. Okay, now I get it. The the two reporters also spoke to several fetish models who claimed to have had an online relationship with Noem, avoiding bimbofication, a kink centered around women becoming real life Barbie dolls with gigantic proportions. Now, now we do know that Kristi Noem was called Ice Barbie. Let me see if we can see any more of these pictures. They say they're talking about 3 pictures. So let's see if there's any more pictures. I'm gonna leave the article. That will be the second article. Oh, there's no more pictures. Let me see if I can go to the Daily Mail and find more pictures. Let me see. I follow me. Follow me. Follow me. Mm-hmm. Jaw dropping published Tuesday. Investigative bit. Nope. Several photos of a man. I don't see. I only see the one photo. You guys are going to have to go look for that second photo, second and third photo on your own. This is in my description box under Bimbo Barbie. How about that? Bimbo Barbie. I did all I could for you. I put you on the I put you on the trail of it. You got to hunt it out for yourself because I pretty much don't want to see too much of a a male man sitting up here with these big titties, and notice how he have them cocked, one nipple pointing up, one nipple pointing down. That's probably how it could be how he sees his wife in botched titty surgery every night. So that could be sentimental. Now let's get to this Saudi Arabia crown prince situation. So let's see what your president said about the crown prince of Saudi Arabia. Do I have proof of what? Do I have proof of what? Do I have proof of what? What are you talking about? Um, do not curse in my chat. You can disagree with me as much as you want to, but do not curse in my chat. But what are you asking for proof of? You're asking for proof of what I just gave you proof of? Is that what you're asking proof of? Love by above? Are you asking proof of the shit that I just gave you proof of? And now you feel embarrassed because you thought that you were going to overtalk me and thought that I didn't come with proof and receipts? See, this is not the propaganda channel. This is the information channel, and information is based on facts, bitch. Okay, so let's get into what 4547 said about the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia. Shall we? Um, Let me play this for you in his own words. In his own words. So let's get to this. Hmm. Hold on. Let me get to the stream recordings. Okay, here we go. Let's see what 4547 had to say about the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I think it's right here. Let's see if this is it.
Yep, and this is what they were created for. That. Absolutely. Hey, look, don't be mad at me. See, here's the thing. I can step back and admire the forest. I don't have to be in the forest. And since you guys sit here and do absolutely nothing to what these people have been doing, on top of what they have not been doing for you, yeah, raise your white children to raise their right hand and go fight in the fuck.
I don't think that was it, but I think that needed to be said. Let's see if this is here. I think that needed to be
Houthis have
said.
announced that they are not, or they've announced to us at least, that they don't want to fight anymore. They just don't want to fight, and we will honor that, and we will stop the bombings, and they have capitulated. But more importantly, we will take their word. They say they will not be blowing up ships anymore. As you know, sailing beautifully down the various seas. It wasn't just the canal. It was, and I will accept their word. And we are going to stop the bombing of the Houthis, effective immediately. And Marco, you'll let everybody know that.
And if it's going to stop, then we can stop. And I think it's an important development.
We're going to, as you know, the Middle East, Saudi Arabia. We're going to UAE and Qatar, and that'll be I guess Monday night. Some of you are coming with us. I think before then, we're going to have a very, very big announcement to make, like as big as it gets. And I won't tell you on what, but it's going to, and it's very positive. I'd tell you if it was negative or positive. I can't keep that out.
This afternoon now, very confident of regime change in Iran, that the Americans have been very reasonable. As an Iranian over here, how do you feel about that? Have they been reasonable?
2 points, Jane, since Donald Trump spoke on Air Force One last night, and of course, this recent tweet. And that is, and we are more and more seeing the light of day, and that is perhaps this war has always been about Iran's oil. That's what he said last night. We want Iran's oil, and now we're dealing with a new, more reasonable regime. The regime we know is now held by the IRGC, the most emboldened and hardline factions. So if you ask Iranian people in Iran, they'll tell you that things are even worse because we're dealing with a younger, more rabid and more emboldened version of the regime we had. And I think that's the reality. And if Donald Trump continues to say this, that we're dealing with a new regime, quite frankly, some may say he's insulting the U.S. intelligence because we're not dealing with a new regime. And when it comes to oil, some Iranians would say, is history repeating itself? Iran's oil has long been controlled in earlier days by Russia and then the Brits. And in 1953, we both know that the United States and the British orchestrated that famous coup that overthrew Mossadegh, who wanted to nationalize Iran's oil. He was the first democratically elected prime minister. And then after that, since 1979, Iran's oil, in more ways than one, became the greatest asset for the Chinese. And the Chinese are the ones who have kept the IRGC from going bankrupt. So here we are, Donald Trump, presumably after Iran's oil. How he's going to get that, we have to wait and see.
It's safe to say that Iranians are not talking to Trump because there isn't any.
It's safe to say Iranian is not talking to Trump because there's nothing to say to Trump. Okay. Let me share this post with you, this article with you about the Crown Prince and what 4547 actually said to the Crown Prince. What publication? House of Saud. Trump humiliates MBS on a Saudi stage and exposes the alliance. This link is link number 3 in Kiss My Ass. Okay, let me read this article for you. If you are unaware of this event and how it took place, Miami. Donald Trump stood on a stage built with Saudi money, looked out at a room full of sovereign wealth fund managers and global investors assembled by Saudi Arabia and told them their crown prince was kissing his ass. The remark delivered at the PIF-backed F2 Priority Summit on March 27th was not a diplomatic accident. It was a public assertion of hierarchy. The President of the United States declaring on a Saudi-branded platform that the kingdom de facto ruler is a subordinate who must perform deference to retain American protection. 48 hours earlier, Trump had called Mohammed bin Salman a warrior. The swing from flattery to emasculation reveals something the $600 billion investment framework and the defense sales and the PIF AI partnership were all designed to obscure. Washington does not view Riyadh as an ally. It views Riyadh as a client. Okay, now let's let's go back. What are they talking about? About the Saudis buying jets from the United States. If you remember, uh, when 4547 sat down with the Crown Prince, that's where I got my thumbnail from, because 4547. Oh, that's not where I got my thumbnail from. But hey, that is one of the things. Trump sees the crown prince on TV and think he can turn Jared Kushner into one. And who helps Jared Kushner? The crown prince himself, by giving him $2 billion for his startup company that he's never worked in. Oh, here we are. Is this it? No, that's not it. Is this it? That's not it. I guess I didn't bring it up. Is this it? I didn't bring it up. It would be my thumbnail picture, where 4547 is sitting up and he is showing the military aircraft that Saudi Arabia, on their trip to the United States, had decided to buy from American defense contractors. So instead of being able to have a conversation, this transitional president was sitting up here holding pictures of different aircraft that Saudi Arabia had the option of buying, as if he was some used car salesman. He doesn't even work for these defense contractors, and he's up there with his poster board, of course, with pictures on them. And he can buy this one. He's gonna buy planes from us, and now he's treating him like the help. Okay, according to this article, not according to me, according to an article from the House of Saud. Okay, so let's continue. Let's continue. Let me remove this. You didn't get this from me. You got this from their own. It be your own people. The incident exposes a triple bind that now defines Saudi's strategic reality. MBS cannot defy Trump because American THAAD and Patriot batteries are the shield keeping Iranian ballistic missiles from reaching Riyadh. So now they have bought these Patriot missiles to defend their country, and now there's nothing they can do about them. But we have seen that the Iranian missiles have been able to destroy these Patriot missiles. So there's that. Now, so it seems like they bought a product from America that they, were thought that, hey, would insulate them from Iran. But it doesn't seem that way so much. You know, they never tested out the product. When you buy defense machinery, maybe you ought to test out the product. Maybe you just can't take the word of the used car salesman, especially when they are 43-time convicted felon. But you know, you know, hey, I can't tell gangsters and killers how to do business with each other. I just can't do that. Okay. Patriot batteries are the shield keeping Iranian ballistic missiles from reaching Riyadh. He cannot comply with Trump's simultaneous demand for Israeli normalization because the Arab Street of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation and wartime politics makes that move lethal. And he cannot ignore the insult because his entire brand, domestically and internationally, is built on sovereign strength. There is no move on this board that does not cost him something irreplaceable. So, what are you going to do, MBS? Trump said you have to kiss his ass. What did Trump actually say about MBS at the F2 summit? Trump exact words delivered during his keynote address at the F2 Priority Summit at the Faena Hotel in Miami Beach on March 27 were unambiguous. He didn't think he would be kissing my ass. He really didn't. And now he has to be nice to me. You tell him he better be nice to me. He's got to be. And he was Mohammed bin Salman, crown prince and de facto ruler of Saudi Arabia, the same country whose sovereign wealth fund organized and bankrolled the event Trump was addressing. Trump expanded on the theme. He recounted that MBS had previously told him America was a dead country. He headed downhill, and that the crown prince thought that he'd be just another American president that was a loser. The rhetorical structure was deliberate. Establish the Saudi leader's past contempt, then demonstrate his current submission. It was a dominance display performed for an audience of global investors, defense contractors, and sovereign wealth fund managers who had gathered specifically because Saudi Arabia wanted to project the image of an equal partner in the American-led order. So Saudi Arabia paid for Donald Trump to get on stage and tell them that their crown prince was kissing his ass. That is what they got of that. The remarks were broadcast live on C-SPAN and reportedly immediately by Bloomberg Business Today, The Hill, and the Anadolu agency. There was no walkback, no clarification from the White House, no suggestion that Trump misspoke. By the time the summit evening session began, every delegate in the Faena ballroom had seen the clip. Can we see the clip, RonyiQ? Let's see the clip. Let's see the clip. We got to see the clip. Let's see the clip, RonyiQ. Let me play the clip for you. You know I got the clip. You know I got the clip. Is this one? Hold on. Hold on. That's, he also inserted the crown prince father and said that he was a frail man that needed to use him to stand up. Because he was so frail. Let me see if this is the one that I really want to share you. Let me share my screen with you. Here we go.
He didn't think he'd be kissing my ass. He grabbed my arm to get up when I was sitting next to him. And they said that's the only time he's ever grabbed anybody. He would grab me all the time. The king, the future king of Saudi Arabia. And I also love the king of Saudi Arabia. What a man he is. When I was there, we bonded. He would grab me to get up. He was a little frail at the time. And this was a long time ago, and he's still doing well. And he'd grab my arm to get up when I was sitting next to him. And they said that's the only time he's ever grabbed anybody. He would grab me all the time. And I said, I think he likes me. And he did like me, and he still likes me. And he's a great man, and say hello to him. He's a great guy with a great son. But a short time ago, we were together, and he looked at me, and he said, you know, it's amazing. 1 year ago, you were a dead country. Now you're the hottest country anywhere in the world. He didn't think this was going to happen. He didn't think he'd be kissing my ass. He really didn't. He thought he'd be just another American president that was a loser. where the country was going downhill. But now he has to be nice to me. You tell him he better be nice to me. He's got to be. But it was really something. He said, though, it's amazing, President, because he's a very smart, but a regular kind of a guy. He said, it's amazing, President. A year ago, in that case, it was a year and a half. It was 6 months ago. But a year ago, you were a dead country. Now you're literally the hottest country anywhere in the world. And that was before we beat the hell out of Iran. Now I think he's got to say even better. I think we have to up it. But he's fantastic. And everything we do, we're working to make America the #1 place on earth to do business.
And so there you have it. Your president is saying that MBS, the man that his own CIA said was responsible for unaliving the reporter Jamal Khashoggi, it said that this same crown prince who ordered this reporter to be chopped up is kissing his ass. And it has not been taken as anything but as an insult by the Saudis. So let's see where we go with that. Let's see how that pans out. That is in my description box under kissing my ass. The link and to the video and the link to the story, it will be in my description box under kissing my ass. Shall we move forward now? Let's see how Pete Kegbreath has been trying to profit off of this war. The only thing, he doesn't know how to fight the war, but it seems like he is well aware of how to make money off of defense contractors during this war. Welcome everyone. Thanks for joining the live stream. Please subscribe to the channel and please hit the like button too. Thank you very, Gary. Thank you for being here. I concur. Nathan Mason. What an interesting rhyming name. Let's get to Kegbreath and how he went to BlackRock. And I told you about BlackRock many, many times before. Where is it? Let me find it. I thought I pulled it up. I apologize. The Financial Times put it on a. See, the thing about some of these news outlets, like the New York Times, of the Wall Street Journal, and these different outlets, I hate that they put information that needs to be broadcast behind paywalls, because people should not have to pay for news that your defense secretary is trying to buy in on stocks to get rich off of a war. These are things that should not be behind paywalls. So let me see if. Okay, here we go. I pre-read the story that I had up yesterday, but I hope this story gives all the information that I want to share with you. I believe he was with Morgan Stanley, and the only reason he was unable to purchase the stock is because they were not able to, at that point, trade with Morgan Stanley, if I'm correct. I think it was Morgan Stanley. Here we go. Pete Hegseth broker attempted to make defense investment before Iran war. This is a story from the Financial Times. I'm not going to pay for their paywall. Hegseth broker at a banking giant Morgan Stanley contacted BlackRock in February about making multi-million-dollar investment in its iShares Defense Industrial Active ETF. The investment discussed Hexelf broker ultimately did not go ahead. Pentagon chief spokesperson Sean Parnell dismissed the report in a post on X, calling it entirely false and fabricated. We know that Sean Parnell is a big liar. This is what we do know about Sean Parnell. So the spokesperson for the Pentagon is trying to lie and say it never happened, when in fact, when they were contacted, BlackRock was contacted by Morgan Stanley, there was an alert that went up, like a signal, like alarm, alarm, some shit that may get us fined and closed down is about to happen. They were alerted that your defense secretary was trying to buy defense stocks, and it was an alarm. And also notice that this happened early in February, and they start striking Iran February 28th. Okay. A broker for U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Kegbreath sought to make a large investment in major defense companies in the lead up to the Iran war, according to the Financial Times. The Pentagon has dismissed the report. They have dismissed the report. The Financial Times reported Tuesday that Kegbreath broker at banking giant Morgan Stanley contracted BlackRock in February about making a multi-million-dollar investment in its iShares Defense Industries Active ETF. The ETF, which has about $3.1 billion in asset, counts companies such as RTX, formerly known as Raytheon, Lockheed Martin, and Northrop Grumman among its largest holding, BlackRock data shows. Also, Palantir. They also have Palantir. That was in the first article. That is how I know. The Defense Industrials Active ETF has lost 12% over the past month, around the time the war in Iran started, according to LSEG. Now, no, that agency had gained about 35% shares, according to the article in the Financial Times, and has recently lost 12% in February since the war has started. Not over the past few months, in February. Well, I guess this will be a few months. March, February. Well, no, February does not count a month because they start fighting on the 28th. So they're trying to pretend like, oh, well, don't worry about it. When Hexelf was trying to get in, they were losing money. No, they had gained 35%. And the strikes for this war didn't happen to the end of February 28th, the last day in February. So therefore, February cannot even be counted. So they trying to smooth this article talking about they had lost about 12% over the past, they said past month, around the time the war in Iran started. Excuse me, I was wrong. Over the past month, around the time that the war started. But prior to, he didn't try to buy it when the war started. He tried to buy it before the war started. The FTS also said that the investment discussed by Hexelf broker ultimately did not go ahead because the fund was not yet available for Morgan Stanley clients to buy at the time. It is unclear whether the broker found another defense-related investment. Pentagon chief spokesperson Sean Parnell dismissed the report in a post on X, calling it entirely false and fabricated. So why is it then that it has been clearly stated that Morgan, the only reason why the the trade did not go through is because Morgan Stanley and BlackRock customers were unable to do business at the time of interest. So the Pentagon is saying it was entirely false and fabricated. So why would they say that? Why would they just lie for absolutely no reason? Oh, because they know that this is some insider trading shit. See, this is why this administration needs to be highly investigated. These are the reasons why 4547 is trying to rig this election by hook or by crook. By any means necessary, they are trying to rig this election so none of this action, none of these people, none of this shit will be deposed, and none of these people will have to explain themselves and their behaviors under oath by a penalty of going to jail. This is why they are trying to steal the midterm elections. So make sure that you do whatever it takes to be at the midterm elections and vote. And you're gonna need to vote some of these non-action, quiet as Democrats out. How come we don't have any congressmen, senators, with their hair on fires, talking about all the illegal shit that this administration is doing? And how come we don't have any Democrats talking about what resolutions and things that they are going to put on the floor to remedy all of this illegality that is going on in this Trump administration. See, that's why we're going to have to look at your Democrat in your state, if you are a Democrat, and vote their asses out too if they are not standing up to this corruption. It's time to clean house. It's really time to clean house. Okay. Calling it entirely false and fabricated. Purnell said that neither Kegbreath nor any of his representatives approached BlackRock about any such investments. Okay, so did you see the quick switch, the quick lie? Purnell said that neither Hegseth nor any of his representatives. I don't think that you would call your financial planner your representative. I think you would call your financial planner your financial planner. He doesn't represent you. He represents his own business in planning your financials. So all of this, neither Hegseth or nor any of his representatives. He's representing growing your wealth, not you as a person. He's not representing Hegseth as a financial planner. He's representing Morgan Stanley as a financial planner for Morgan Stanley. So you see what Parnell thought that he was doing there, saying neither Hegseth nor any of his representative approached BlackRock. Why would they? A financial planner would have to approach BlackRock about purchasing defense securities stocks. Okay, so I am going to put this article in my description box under under insiders trading. I'm back. That link is going to be in the description box under insider trading. I don't know if you guys heard me when I told you that I had to reboot my computer. I am back. The link is pinned in my description box under insider trading. So there are a couple of more stories that I am going to share with you. That's interesting. Hold on one second. One second. Okay, I have that pinned now. I want to talk about uh, while Cat Breath is worried about making money off of this war, while they're not. Let me see. Hold on. Let me pull up. I don't know why I don't have this story pulled up. Let me pull this up. Here we go. I want to talk about two very important things. Let me see the date on this article. That's not the one I'm looking for. Let me go back. Okay, here we go. Let me see the date on this. I want to make sure this is the most up to date reporting on this. I thought that I had saved it. That was 2 months ago. That's not the one that I want. Let me go forward with something that I am sure of that is up to date. I want to share this with you. While a Kek Breath is trying to profit off of this war, it doesn't seem like he's making any uh, preparedness for our troops. Now, there are reports that many people believe that Israel will be striking Iran with a nuclear weapon, but instead of making sure that the troops on the grounds that they are about to put on the grounds are protected from any nuclear fallout, prior to getting these troops there, it seems like your military is, according to the stars and stripes, are are making it work, trying to put it together at the last minute. The Stars and Stripes Pentagon asks for pre-made bunkers that can be quickly shipped to the Middle East. This is dated March 28th of 2026. Understand that if a real commander was over the military, if this was a calculation of anything that could be happening in the Middle East, you can trust and believe a black uh, a person over the military like Lloyd Austin would have already had these bunkers prepared for the military. But unfortunately, we have someone with zero merit, zero class, and zero experience over our whole military who is trying to pocket money with his greedy ass as opposed to protecting the lives of our enlisted people. So there's that. Now let's see what the article says. Uh, a Pentagon exploratory call for potential contract posted this week asks for prefabricated transportable bunkers that can be quickly sent to the Middle East. The notice, which was published Monday and had a Friday deadline, aimed to determine if there exists an adequate number of uh, inter interested and qualified contractors that can provide the bunkers. Instead, interested vendors were asked to submit three options for different estimated time frames. 3 days, 15 days, 30 days. All of the options had to be deliverable to King Hassan International Airport in Jordan. Each response Each response was required to identify the level of protection provided. It seems like they would have uh, identified the level of protection that would only be suitable. It seems like they said they would have said if there were levels between 1 and 5 was the highest protection. It seems like your Pentagon would say we need level 5 uh, bunkers. It would take what it needs, but it seems like they was like, oh, tell us about what you got. Okay, each response will require to identify the level of protection provided by the bunkers, including the highest level of threat that the bunker is designed to withstand, such as ballistic impacts. How come y'all didn't ask some of these billionaires that have built their own bunker mansions? Maybe they know a bit or two about bunkers. The notice said that total quantity requirement is currently unknown, but that vendors are encouraged to give pricing structures reflecting any available economies of scale. It comes as the U.S. bases in the region have sustained damage. A New York Times report published earlier this week described many as effectively uninhabitable. It also comes as thousands of Marines and paratroopers are headed to the region, and as the Pentagon reportedly weighs deploying an additional 10,000 ground troops to the area. If you are unaware of that, uh, that is what is going on. This will be in my description box under bunkers. I don't know what you guys think of this. I don't know if you guys care about this, but I just thought that it would be important for you to understand what's really going on in the Middle East. This is under bunkers in my description box. Please avail yourself to it in your free time. Um, Now, I think there is one more thing that I wanted to talk to you about. Okay, I got the bunkers out the way. What is that last thing? I got Trump humiliates the crown prince out of the way. Oh, let's talk about this, shall we? What is the crown prince expecting in response to him lavishing all of this money on your president, be it golf deals, golf course deals, hotel deals, giving billions of dollars to Jared Kushner, to the extent that Jared Kushner is back after getting $2 billion from the Saudis. Now he is requesting an additional $5 billion from Arab states. So let's see what is expected of this administration, since they are going to the Arab states like children going to bubblegum machines to get billions of dollars instead of bubblegum. Um, Saudi Arabia Crown Prince pushing Trump to keep fighting Iran, put boots on of the ground, says a report. Now, understand that Saudi Arabia is not putting any of their boots on the ground. You know who else is encouraging Trump to put boots on the ground? The person who has us in this war itself. None other than Benjamin Netanyahu in Israel are requesting that American put boots on the ground, but they are not putting any Israeli boots on the ground. No soldier from Israel is going to come over to Iran and put any boots on the ground. They expect the Americans. See, that shows how little respect that they have for the American people, because you keep your mouth closed as your tax dollars are spent on a country that has a free college and free health care for all of their citizens, as you have none, and you continue to vote against your own interests by keep putting in people who don't give a fuck if you have education or even health insurance. And they look at you and they say, boy, those are some ignorant motherfuckers over there. And they don't even say a word when all of their money is coming over here to support us. And goddamn, we have health insurance for all our people. We have a free college for all our people. Oh, well, shit. Don't look a gift horse in his mouth. Just keep on getting that money from those stupid Americans. Trump loves the uneducated voter, and they love him back. So let's get into this. Okay, Saudi Arabia de facto leader Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman has been using U.S. President Donald Trump to continue the war against Iran. The New York Times reports, citing people briefed by American officials. Bin Salman has spoken to Trump several times over the past week, pushing the president to keep fighting. Keep fighting until the regime in Iran is toppled, according to the report. The Saudi prince sees Iran as a long-term threat that will persist as long as the Islamic Republic exists. He also believes that Iran could continue to target Saudi Arabia and threaten shipping after the war, the newspaper says. Now, so how rational do you think that these reports about 45, 47 leaving and not worrying about opening up the Straits of Hormuz? Now, if the president was really thinking about leaving and not opening up the Strait of Hormuz, I could find that feasible if he was a punk bitch and got the strait closed and then just decided to haul ass and pretend like and declare that he won and leaving the straits closed. But under the realistic circumstances that 45, 47, and his son-in-law are into the pockets of the Saudi for billions of dollars. I think that the administration is going to do exactly what they're told. And while we are paying the Israeli uh, billions of dollars, why is it that your compromised president is doing everything that he's told to do by Israel? Because your president is compromised. Now, how could your president be compromised by the Assad agent, which was his best friend, the pedophile Jeffrey Epstein, who is also reported to be a Mossad agent, who it has been reported that Mossad were the one who put up all the hidden cameras in Jeffrey Epstein's homes. So how could your president be compromised? Why is your president doing the bidding of Saudi Arabia and Israel? And what is your president doing for you, the American citizen? Absolutely nothing. He's not even telling you to prepare for tough times like other world leaders are telling their people to start rationing, start saving things, start taking uh, a shower every other day as opposed to every day. I guess he understands that his constituent probably don't even take a shower every week, so he doesn't even need to tell the people that voted his 34 having felon ass into office. He probably don't realize he had to tell them this. I guess he don't realize that he don't have to tell his constituents to not flush the toilet, but so many times a day because they are cleaning out their meth needles with their toilet tank water. I guess that's why he don't feel the necessity to tell his followers that it's time to preserve resources. But the rest of the United States need to understand that it is absolutely time to ration your resources. Don't be out here begging people for cash apps to buy lunch meat and bread. Understand that it is time to have rations that will last over a long period of time. So therefore, don't be ignorant enough to buy lunch meat and bread, things that are going to spoil quickly. Don't be an idiot out here. Don't show how ignorant you are. Don't wait until the last minute to procure your own personal safety. Do you have a solar powered generator? Do you have a piece of per, uh, personal protection and the little goblets that go inside of it? Because if you're not aware, during a certain detrimental times, that there is a cap on the number of boxes of things that you insert in your personal protection that you can buy. Sometimes it may be one box of personal protection inserts that you can buy for your personal protection. Are you up on having enough personal protection, or are you going to have somebody come up on you and you're going to have to do hand on hand combat, or are you going to be able to combat a threat from a long distance? It's time for you to understand that you need to make these decisions now. That's all I'm saying. Do you have enough water? Is your water in the right container to not spoil? Do you have enough food that are in cans that will sustain you? Do you have solar powered flashlights? Do you have things that will purify water if you run out of water? Do you have something to purify you some water? Do you have a safety kit that has everything from band-aids to tourniquets? Do you have small denominations of bills, not hundreds and things like that? Do you have some cash around just in case you will have to go out and barter for something and you won't be flashing a 50 or 100 and get knocked over your motherfucking head and robbed or your life taken for 50, 20 or $100 bill? It's about to get like that in America. It's if you didn't understand that these billionaires and your administration never has given a fuck about you since they have been in office. This is some Hunger Game type of shit that they are enjoying. That they will be sitting down in their billionaire bunkers, drinking wine, looking at their works of art, and laughing at you dumb motherfuckers. If you don't know, I'm just giving you the information. Ben Salman has spoken to Trump several times over the past week, pushing the president to keep fighting until the regime in Iran is toppled. Okay. According to the Times, Ben Salman fears failed Iranian states with the military fraction continuing to strike the kingdom. Publicly, Riyadh, which has been hit by numerous Iranian drones and missiles attacks, says it wants to see a diplomatic solution. But according to the sources, MBS wants to see U.S. strikes on Iran energy infrastructure in order to weaken the regime. He even advocated for U.S. Boots on the ground in order to take control of energy sites and topple the regime, they said. Well, how come he's not putting any of the Saudi sandals on the ground? He wants to see your boots on the ground to save him and his region, but he don't want to see no fucking sandals on the ground. How come you're not fighting for yourself? Oh, because he feels that he has paid for your sons and daughters to fight for Saudi Arabia. That's why. Okay, this link is going to be in my description box under what shall I put this in? Sandals, not boots. This is will be in my description box under sandals, no boots. How about that? Okay. Is there anything else that there may be a couple of quick things I will share with you. Okay, what are you saying? The problem is if you have all of that, there are a lot of people who ready to loot you when things get hard. The problem, I'm not clear on what you're saying. I really am not clear on what you're saying. Because that is why you have to make sure that you have personal protection. So you are supposed to sit up and have nothing in fear of people are going to loot you. Is that what you're saying? You're supposed to sit up, have nothing, make no preparations for yourself, and think that you're going to go out and beg. I hear so many ignorant people talking about black people. We know how to get by. We know how to share with each other. We know how to be poor and make it by. You take your stupid ass out there and be trying to share with some of these ruthless ass, nothing ass motherfuckers who don't have it within them to preserve their own life, and thinking that you gonna share with some of these ruthless motherfuckers. If they don't give a fuck about their own life, how much of a fuck you think they gonna give about yours? Is what I'm asking. So play on the play on the ignorance, play on the old wives' tales if you want to. Play around with your life if you want to. But that's not what I'm going to do. Once grocery stores are empty, suburban areas are next. I don't understand what you're saying. Hey, simply Sarah, Z Sarah. I mean, simply Z Sarah, not simply Sarah. Uh, simply Sarah doesn't visit my channel. Them troops is getting sacrificed. Yeah. So I think that, let me see what I have. There may be a couple of little things that I have saved that I can share with you. Let's check it out. One second. Let's check out what I have on the playlist. Oh, I definitely want to talk about the lies that you have been told about the strikes that Iran has been doing. That F-15 fighter jet and one of the three jets that allegedly were hit by friendly fire. It has been deduced that those planes were absolutely hit by Iranian missiles. Now there is also a airplane that was allegedly hit by Iranian missiles. A real expensive plane that they are curious as to how would they even be able to locate this plane. This plane was also hit sitting on the tarmac. I think the plane was valued at over $3 million, and it's supposed to have had so much radar and intelligent gathering and intelligent information. That plane was ruined. We only have about 13 of these planes left, and your military is not telling you about this. First, your military told you that it was slightly damaged, and now you find out that they have a nose cone and part of the middle part of the plane, and then they have a a tore up tail cone, and the rest of the plane is totally burnt up and missing. So let me share this with you. What your military is not telling you about. Let me share this with you. This is from Breaking Points. Go over there and check them out.
Because at that point, they're all in. This is the escalation trap, which we've tried to tell everybody ad nauseum about. Let's go and put A1 up there on the screen. I don't want to understate the level of damage that we are taking here now in the Middle East. Let's start with the slideshow just to show everybody. This is a U.S. Navy, or sorry, a U.S. E-3G Sentry Airborne Early Warning and Control aircraft, which, as you guys can see right now, was basically obliterated here, either by an Iranian missile or a drone. We don't know exactly what it is. It seems to have been a ballistic missile and drone attack. Now, there are only some 14 that are currently operational in the entire United States of America, like in terms of their arsenal. So this is a highly strategic asset. It's one of those that you're supposed to keep the safest. It was also reportedly hit with multiple other refueling tankers, which is what keeps a lot of those air operations continuing over Iran. Now, the fact that this was able to take what is very obvious from the picture, a direct hit from either an Iranian missile or a drone, shows targeting capability, penetration. This is the Prince Sultan Air Base in Saudi Arabia. There were multiple U.S. service members that were hit. Let's put A2 up there on the screen. At least 12 American troops were were injured, 2 seriously. And from what I have seen from some of the intelligence analysts who are out there, is that there is basically no way you could have done this without not only up-to-date real-time targeting information, but exact coordinates to be able to hit very specifically where things are. I will also note, this shows you how unprepared the United States is for a major war. You have all of these air assets that are just sitting out there in the middle of a runway, and obviously within range of Iranian missiles and drones. Now, the theory was, oh, well, we have interceptors. And I saw somebody say this. You remember when Ukraine took out a bunch of Russian air assets in almost the exact same way? How are we not prepared for this? And it's like very obvious. For years, you and I have sat at this desk and have talked about Ukraine and Russia. And for years, I have heard the pushback from many of my friends who are, much more neocons. And they're like, well, we're not the Russians. They're idiots. They're losers. They leave their stuff out in the open just to get hit. They can't even have air superiority. They're such a joke. You're an idiot for considering them such a large military. Oh, maybe we're a little bit more like Russia than we thought, right? Yeah. Now, we're not as bad as how they operated in Ukraine, but to take major strategic hits like this and to lose so publicly not only one of these aircraft, but also take all the refueling hits, to take the injuries, and then also to show you clearly.
And also the aircraft carrier, the largest aircraft carrier, the Gerald Ford, being mutilated to the point that they had to take it out of the Middle East to be repaired. That one that they're trying to hide from you, who they are acting like they had a 30-day fire on it because of the laundry. That one. That lie.
There was either a failure of interceptor or we ran out. Both are obviously, if you listen to our show on Thursday, we showed everybody the math and the numbers. We have troops that are in harm's way. And this is in potential preparation for any sort of ground invasion where you would need a massive aerial armada to be able to continue to pound things that are on the ground to make sure that the actual troops are not going to be put into harm's way. So this is a capability and a proof that they are absolutely not out of the fight in any way.
Right.
To be able to take out strategic assets, multiple U.S. bases. Remember, they called them uninhabitable. Now troops are working remotely. You're taking out refueling tanks. You're taking out the E3. I mean, this is a flashing red light to show how unprepared we are and the damage that we've now taken.
By the way, I don't really believe that those bases are uninhabitable. I think it's just that the troops would be in danger if they're there. And so, I think they've all been damaged, right? And the Iranians have demonstrated their capacity to.
Well, I definitely believe that they are uninhabitable. Now, let's get to this executive order. President Trump gaggles with press on Air Force One en route to Joint Base Andrews on March 29th.
Whether it's possible, we won't.
Going well.
Terminating is an example.
So much speculation about what the true numbers are and what the true level of damage is. I just wanted to note one other thing I was trying to find it early in the show when we're talking about Trump's market manipulation here with this new Truth Social, and how Ghalibaf is the guy that's been floated as, he's the new hot ticket in terms of some moderate leadership that we're going to be able to do a deal with. Ghalibaf literally yesterday tweeted, "Heads up, pre-market so-called news or quote unquote truth is often just a setup for profit taking. Basically, it's a reverse indicator. Do the opposite. If they pump it, short it. If they dump it, go long. See something tomorrow, ? You know the drill." So getting out ahead.
So Ghalibaf is the one that they finally revealed his name. I showed you that earlier in the show, Gollyboff is clowning Trump about the market manipulation that he does every Friday and every morning, trying to prop up the stock market. He's telling you whatever Trump tells you, do the opposite and make your own money. Let's continue.
Of this truth, like, hey, Trump may.
But this is who they're negotiating with, and they feel that they can trust them. And he seems to be a good guy. And he tells you he has nothing to do with negotiation against Trump. And he's coming out and telling that maybe that's the reason why they don't want to tell you who they are pretending to be in negotiations with, because they don't want you to look up all of the disparaging things that he is saying about their silly asses in public.
Come out and say some shit tomorrow morning, but I would not listen to the words that he's saying. And this is the guy that supposedly they're, we find him more, we can do the deal with him, and he's gonna give over the oil. He's gonna be the one that just opens the Strait of Hormuz and lets us do whatever we want.
And to your point, this is how Trump is trying to present it. Let's put A3. This is him talking to reporters last night aboard Air Force One. Let's take a listen.
We're doing extremely well in that negotiation, but you never know with Iran because we negotiate with them and then we always have to blow them up, whether it's the B-2 bombers or just terminating, as an example, the Iran nuclear deal done by Barack Hussein Obama, probably the worst deal we've ever done as a country, one of the dumbest deals we've ever done. But I terminated it, unfortunately, otherwise right now they'd have a nuclear weapon. And we did the attack.
He terminated, and thus we are today. He terminated the nuclear deal where inspectors were going in, and there were no proliferation of uranium that would be able to be turned into weapon grade uranium per the inspectors. No weapon grade uranium was being created, but it was one of the most stupidest deals, says the person that flies into a war where the Strait of Hormuz and gas is flowing freely, and his condition of stopping the war is that the Strait of Hormuz be reopened since they have been closed because of his war that he has decided to strike Iran with no explanation. So therefore, Iran closed the strait, and this is his condition of ending the war. Reopening the straits that were open before. That is not a condition of war. How can you have a condition of war for something to be reopened that was only closed because you started shit? See, now the fight ain't over because you get tired. You want to be a bully, you want to go in and you want to hit somebody, and then your arms get tired from fighting. No, bitch. Just because your arms are tired, that don't mean the fight is over. The fight is not over until the other person is also tired of fighting. Iran is not tired of fighting. So you shouldn't have took your ass in there under the instructions of Netanyahu and Masama and MBS. You shouldn't have took your ass in there. So now you're going to have to endure the fight. No, unfortunately, our American forces are going to have to endure the fight. You're going to have to blow them up. I can. Okay, let's continue.
The B-2 bombers, and we stopped them from having nuclear. And now we had to blow them up again. And we will.
We did all of that. We blew them up, and we stopped them from having nuclear. And then now we had to blow them up again. You notice he gives no reason. He did all of that in the first blowing up, and now we had to blow them up again with no reason given for the blow them up again. Let's hear that again.
Ahead of this truth, like, hey, Trump may come out and say some shit tomorrow morning, but I would not listen to the words that he's saying. And this is the guy that supposedly they're, we find him more, we can do the deal with him, and he's going to do whatever.
Last night aboard Air Force One. Let's take
with Iran because we negotiate with them and then we always have to blow them up, whether it's the B-2 bombers or just terminating as an example the Iran nuclear deal done by Barack Hussein Obama, probably the worst deal we've ever done as a country, one of the dumbest deals we've ever done. But I terminated it, unfortunately, otherwise right now they'd have a nuclear weapon. And we did the attack with the B-2 bombers, and we stopped them from having nuclear. And now we had to blow them up again. And we will probably, I think we'll make a deal with them, pretty sure. But it's possible.
Now we have to blow them up again, and I think we'll make a deal with them. Just a whole motherfucking nutcase. And we are going to suffer with the ramifications behind this war for many, many years, as there are no jobs being created in the United States, as tax breaks are being given to oligarchs and billionaires to actually create devices and ways to actually take American jobs from American workers, as the Congress look. Republicans in the Congress look to taking away more Medicaid to help pay for this war. They don't want you to thrive. They want you to die.
Going well, but you never know, because we negotiate with them, we have to blow them up. Maybe that's why they don't want to negotiate with you. You might have thought of that before you got into a war like this and you bombed them twice under the cover of diplomacy. By the way, meanwhile...
Okay, I think that's all. Let me see what this is. Let me see what this is. I apologize.
Into a little bit of their reporting.
There were at least 2 strikes on Lamed, a town in the south of Iran. One was on a residential street, which is where we can see the missile. Another strike hit a community sports hall.
Now, this is where they're talking about, the school strike that happened the first day of this war that HEXF is supposed to be investigating. Now they're talking about a never before used missile that was also used to strike a school. So now they always use the excuse of they didn't know. This was a precision. You know what precision means? That it is supposed to be precise in what it is striking. So they used this new missile and they struck another school and a children's sports arena. Let's go.
Into a little bit of their reporting.
There were at least 2 strikes on Lamed, a town in the south of Iran. One was on a residential street, which is where we can see the missile. Another strike hit a community sports hall, where state media report children were playing volleyball. Its intended target may have been an Iranian military base next door, but it appears undamaged in satellite imagery. According to multiple Iranian state media outlets, 4 children were among those killed that day, including 12-year-old El Hamzairi, an avid volleyball player. The youngest victim was reportedly 2 years old. Footage we verified of the aftermath of the sports hall strike shows the entire side of the building blackened. Damage can also be seen on the roof, with blast fragments in the surrounding area. According to experts, the weapon most likely used on the residential street was a US precision strike missile. It's also known as a PRISM. It can reach targets of up to 500 kilometers away. This war marks what's believed to be the first time this weapon has been used by the US military. That's according to the Department of Defense. We asked the US why it used a PRISM in a civilian area, but they declined to comment. America's most senior officer praised his troops' use of the system on the 13th of March.
In just the first 13 days of this operation, our artillery forces have made history. They fired the first precision strike missiles ever used in combat.
So more children here killed by our missiles. This one, apparently, this new fancy high-tech missile in its debut.
And there you have what is his name? What do they call him? Raising Cain out there talking about we use a precision missile, but he didn't tell you that they killed children with this. We made history. That wasn't history. That wasn't the first time you actually committed a war crime by killing children. You made history of the first day that you made the strike. But y'all think that we forget that you're supposed to be investigating exactly who struck the school. After you guys said that Iran struck their own school and all of these lies that you told about who killed these 168. No, you are not making any breaking news by just killing 4 children. You are just committing war crimes all willy-nilly. Raising Cain.
Murdered some children while they were playing sports. At the same time, Sagar, we're getting, let's put A7 up on the screen. We're getting more reporting about, there was all sorts of happy talk about, Iran's missile arsenal is being destroyed and their launcher capacity is being decimated. Well, now we got this information. U.S. intelligence has determined just 33%, roughly, of Iran's missile arsenal has been destroyed as the Iran war nears its 1 month mark. This is per Reuters. Details include the intelligence assessment shows Iran still has significant missile inventory. I think we're seeing that every day. The status of around another third is less clear, but bombings likely damaged, destroyed, or buried those missiles in underground tunnels and bunkers. Sources say U.S. intelligence was similar for Iran's drone capability as well. Obviously, that's highly significant. And Iran is expected to recover some buried or damaged missiles once fighting stops. Tomorrow is the 1 month mark of the war. So all that happy talk about how, don't worry, our interceptor stockpile is going to outlast them. We're destroying them. Trump said that they've been, obliterated. He won. Victory is ours, blah, blah, blah. They still have 2/3 of their missile arsenal.
Okay, so all of this, they have nothing else to fight us with. They're losing ground. All of that is hockey pock and bullshit. And you are seeing more and more of it. That link is in my description box. It is under the title Damage, because it is letting you know the type of damage that is going on.
Let every
Cat breath Christian rhetoric is raising alarm amongst the troops.
round find its mark against the enemies of righteousness and our great nation. Give them wisdom in every decision, endurance for the trial ahead, unbreakable unity, and overwhelming violence of action against those who deserve no mercy.
Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth says God has chosen a side in President Trump's war with Iran, and it's America's side. Hegseth, who's begun monthly Christian prayer services inside the Pentagon, is blending Old Testament wrath with Christian nationalist holy war rhetoric,
and they want you to believe that the Islamic people are the religious fanatics, as they bring this fanaticism and these white Christian nationalist bullshit and rhetoric into the military. Let that sink in. They want to spread this white nationalism shit under the guise of religion and have our non-white, non-Christian troops have to suffer under this rhetoric and bullshit. Let that sink in. This is in my description link under God is not in this.
overriding hundreds of chaplain codes designed to respect is blending Old Testament wrath with Christian nationalist holy war rhetoric, and overriding hundreds of chaplain codes designed to respect and serve other religions. Military leaders, legal experts, and veterans across the country tell the Washington Post what Hegseth is doing is dangerous. Joining us, retired U.S. Major General and former Deputy Commanding General of the U.S. Third Army in Kuwait, Randy Manner. He's also facilitated the withdrawal of U.S. forces from Iraq in 2010 and president of Elevation Global Strategies, and former vice president of the Pentagon Press Association. Kevin Barron joins us as well. All right, General, talk to me about these Christian prayer services and this sort of rhetoric. Is it new?
It absolutely is new. In my entire 36 years of my military service, it divides our military. It does not unite us. Not only is it illegal under the Constitution, separation of church and state, it's forcing religion on those who perhaps do not believe in the same way. Our chaplains are there to provide religious, spiritual, to meet the spiritual needs of the military members and their families, provide counseling and hope and to be the eyes and ears for the commander, and to be looking at the morale and the welfare of the units. Right now, those Christian nationalist ideas, especially Christian, are being prominent, and they are not treating others with dignity and respect. Last time I checked, that is a Christian ideal.
Kevin, in your experience covering the Pentagon, how often does religion get blended into the mission?
Oh, well, quite often, but let's distinguish the difference here. There's nothing wrong with praying for troops downrange. There's nothing abnormal for hearing an invocation for the gathering of troops. Even words that might end with "in Jesus' name," if that's the denomination of the chaplain or pastor giving the denomination. What's different is those little phrases in Hegseth's recent speeches, things like overwhelming force and rounds finding their mark. This is like a whole different level of blending, not just blending religion with the mission and public service, but
yeah, because these are not Christians. These are people who are using the Bible to control other people. These are people who are used to using the Bible to uphold their white supremacy. These are what these Christian nationalists are. Period, point blank. Let me see if there's anything else. Now, I was going to talk about this yesterday, how the IDF captured a CNN crew. The CNN crew was on the West Bank, where they have routinely been going into the West Bank and setting houses on fire, chasing these people out of their homes, and come to find out that they are security forces for doing this. These are rogue groups of people who are killing these West Bank people, not the settlers. They are killing the Palestinians, and then they are taking over their homes, and they're calling themselves settlers. So how are they allowed to do this? Because the IDF are being their personal secure forces. So CNN was over there watching one of the settlers invade a house, and then the IDF came up on CBN and started snatching cameras and telling them to sit down, and putting one of the cameramen in a chokehold. And they held them for over 2 hours. And then when they realized that they couldn't just erase the evidence off of their cameras, because obviously it was on the cloud, they came out and apologized and said that they were going to put the officers who did this off duty or some weak ass bullshit. But before they were able to do any of this, one of the IDF soldiers told them the truth. They said, why are you helping these people? This is settler land. And the IDF soldier said, this is settler land now, but soon it will be all Israeli land, or something to that effect, letting him know that this is why we're here. We're here to take over this Palestinian land, and we are doing it with IDF protection. Since we wanted to celebrate the fake ass Jared Kushner, Steve Witkoff ceasefire in Palestine, this is what has been going on in Palestine since that fake ceasefire.
Israeli soldiers detained a CNN crew for 2 hours in the West Bank. They put a photojournalist in a chokehold. They said the entire West Bank belongs to Jews. One admitted the outpost was illegal and said he'd legalize it himself. Within 48 hours, the IDF suspended the entire battalion. Because this time, someone had a camera rolling. It lasted 2 hours, but what those 2 hours revealed has shaken the Israeli military to act faster than it almost ever has. On March 26th, CNN correspondent Jeremy Diamond and his team were in the Palestinian village of Tyre in the occupied West Bank, covering the aftermath of a settler attack. Israeli soldiers arrived, detained the crew, and one soldier placed CNN photojournalist Cyril Theophilos in a chokehold, dragging him to the ground and damaging his camera. It did not end there. Several soldiers told the crew on camera that the entire West Bank belongs to Jews. Others said they were carrying out revenge for the death of 18-year-old Israeli settler Yehuda Sherman, killed in a suspected ramming attack near Nablus days earlier. One soldier, identified only as Meir, acknowledged the outpost in Tyre was illegal, but said it would slowly be legalized with his help.
The 2 hours we spent detained laid bare the settler ideology motivating many of the soldiers who operate in the occupied West Bank, and the ways in which soldiers frequently act in service of the settler movement.
The report aired, and within 48 hours, IDF Chief of Staff Eyal Zamir had suspended the entire battalion responsible. The Netzer Israel Battalion, a reserve unit drawing heavily from the ultra-Orthodox Netzer Yehuda Battalion, and known to have attracted members of radical right-wing settler groups, was pulled from the West Bank immediately and reassigned to training until further notice. Zamir's statement left little room for interpretation.
Weapons are to be used solely for the purpose of carrying out the mission, and never for revenge. We will not accept such incidents within the ranks of the IDF.
The IDF called the incident a serious ethical and professional failure. Military police have been ordered to investigate the assault on the CNN photojournalist. Additional disciplinary measures against individual soldiers are expected. Not everyone welcomed the decision. Far-right National Security Minister Itamar Ben-Gvir called the suspension a grave mistake that harms Israel's deterrence capability. The battalion had previously drawn scrutiny under the Biden administration, which considered sanctioning Netzer Yehuda in 2024 over alleged human rights violations against Palestinians before dropping the plan after Israel provided assurances of corrective action. Rising settler...
So much for those Israeli corrective actions.
Violence in the West Bank is reported daily, but rarely prosecuted. In recent months, repeated attacks from illegal outposts have driven dozens of Palestinian families from the northern Jordan Valley, the same area where the CNN crew was detained. This time, someone had a camera rolling.
See, this is what many people like to ignore and leave before the real story. These are real human beings. These people have real loved ones. And this has been going on just for far too long.
اللهم عرف بينهم وبين محمد وترحمنا وتحنن على إبراهيم وآل إبراهيم. هيهات من نبذ الله، هيهات
A child. Okay, let me see what else I want to share with you. This is in the description box under the title IGF detained CNN. Okay, let me share. Make sure if there's something else. I may have pulled it aside, but I may not share with you. UN prepares for nuclear war. This is the article that I had held, but I went back for it and I didn't see it.
All right, welcome to the show, y'all.
Video that I just.
Who
All right,
else?
y'all. I am concerned.
Who else but Kyle Kalinske can I give this to you to let you understand what a person in the UN who has resigned from their position in the UN because they were restricted from giving warnings about what appears to be a potential nuclear strikes in Iran.
This country deeper and deeper into.
This will be in my description box under nukes.
Navel gazing, self-aggrandizing, narcissistic horseshit you can do as every decision you're making is plunging this country deeper and deeper into a new crisis. And this is what you're focused on?
And if you look, you have the White House over here, you have this, and that's a duplicate of the wall. So it pays total homage to the White House, which is, I think, very important.
By the way, he goes on to say, oh, we're building a massive complex underneath the ballroom, a massive complex. Okay, so he's basically admitting that one of the so-called conspiracy theories about this ballroom is true, that they want to update their nuclear bunker and make it much more complex, and much deeper and much more new. They're doing that, and he just let the cat out of the bag and admitted it when that was definitely one of the things that he was supposed to keep quiet.
One of the things that also you should know about him being on this airplane, showing pictures of this ballroom, is because New York Times had a architect look at the renderings, and the architect absolutely said how ridiculous this building and how this building was set up was so wrong and impractical. They pointed to the grand staircase that led to a lawn that had absolutely zero sidewalks that led up to the grand staircase, so anybody could climb the stairs. They would have to walk through grass to get to. There no sidewalks nowhere connecting you to the grand staircase that did not even go to the entrance of the ballroom, because the entrance of the ballroom was on the side of the building. And then so Trump is giving you now they have taken the steps out of the front of the building. They just had stairs there just to appear grand, so you had to walk over to the side door, like somebody leaving the porch light on and then leaving a path of pebbles so you can find your way to the back door at your grand house. A whole bunch of bullshit. And he was so affected by the factual common sense of how this grand ballroom was grand for no reason and disconnected and didn't make physical sense and was not worked up obviously by any professional that know how people actually use grand ballrooms. So he had to get on the plane and make sure, and this is how this is, and and they took this staircase and look at this. Yeah, they took it out because the New York Times said how stupid it was to have stairs that went up to a non-entrance of the building. Okay, just so you'll know what this motherfucker has so pertinent on his heart that he must explain to you that he has it all together, as he has a war that he doesn't even know how to fucking fight. He's worried about what you think of how he fucked up this grand ballroom with stair steps to nowhere. Everything about this administration is stair steps to nowhere. All of these military lies, all of these military plans are stair steps to nowhere. Let's continue.
So understand, this is what's called behavioral disinhibition. And this is evidence of Alzheimer's. And his dad died with Alzheimer's, which means Trump was 3 to 15 times more likely to get Alzheimer's because of the family history. And now he's exhibiting symptoms on a daily basis, and they're getting worse and worse, and everybody's pretending like that's not the case. So he lets the cat out of the bag and admits, oh yeah, I'm building a bunker that I'm going to hide in, which also not the greatest sign during this massive illegal war where, people are concerned of nuclear weapons being used. And he's like, I'm building this bunker. I'm building a new bunker that I can go in that you can't go in, but I can go in when I destroy everything. All right, well, we're just getting started, though, because now we also have this one. So, again, on the same flight, listen to what he says about Democrats.
They should terminate the filibuster, and they should vote. That's what I think. Look, I think the Senate is playing it too soft.
This call day about hospitals. We get news every single day. We're targeting power plants in Iran. We keep bombing schools in Iran. We keep bombing hospitals. We bombed a sports complex and killed a girls' volleyball team.
And see, these are the war crimes that I talk about. And you never hear any representative from the military that says, oh, oops, we apologize, we made a mistake. You never hear your for-profit media alert you that these are the things that they are bombing. So when I come in here on my little program to tell you the real news that's going on, you get idiots dropping down telling you that the school was built near a military base. You get fools drop down and tell me that I'm lying and I don't know what I'm talking about, because this is factual information that is not being put out by your for-profit media, nor is your for-profit media about to tell you about this nuclear threat that is on the horizon. That other nations, that other nations are preparing their citizens for.
Power plants in Iran, going after civilian infrastructure on purpose. And he has the nerve to say, these Democrats are like terrorists. My dude, you do terror attacks literally daily these days. The Democrats are like terrorists. Who do they think they are? Me? Do they think they're me? We're so used to it. Now, by the way, I seem to remember when Hillary Clinton correctly said that about half of Trump supporters are irredeemable deplorables. I remember a multi-week, multi-month, potentially, absolute freak-out session over that. And then here we have Trump saying something worse, that the Democrats are terrorists. And, yawn, you're not going to hear about it anywhere except here, and maybe a handful of other places. Got more, though. So he gave a speech as well the other day. And don't tell me he's doing well. First of all, his skin is this freakish color that does not exist in nature. Second of all, he's so weirdly sweaty. Third of all, he's got these strange bumps on his face. He doesn't look like a human. And he's out there saying shit like this.
Stopping wars it's the best. I think I do it the best. I stop wars that nobody thought. President Putin called me. He said, I can't believe you stopped this one and this one, which are impossible. Azerbaijan, it was an impossible war to stop. We stopped it.
I don't even know what to say. The actual number of wars he stopped, and I'm not kidding about this, is 0. 0. And he goes, I stopped 8 wars. As he's starting a new war seemingly every week, he goes, why don't you guys give me credit for stopping wars that I'm not stopping? My dude, in your second regime here, you've bombed fishing boats from Venezuela and Trinidad and Tobago and Colombia. You did regime change in Venezuela. You bombed Yemen, Somalia, Nigeria, and Iran. In fact, you just added Ecuador to that list, bro. Trump is bombing so many countries, sometimes I forget that he's bombing Ecuador. You'll miss a country or two because you're like, I can't fucking keep up. He's also threatening Greenland and Panama.
Okay, listen. I get caught up sometime when I watch Kyle. I didn't want to show all of this. But all of this is just shit that you do not hear in your for-profit media. Let me get to the nuclear and how UN people are quitting their jobs at the UN. I'm going to drop the link in my description box. It is in the description box under nukes, and I will also drop it in the chat. Go over there to Secular Talk and enjoy the reporting of Kyle Kalinske. His wife is the co-host of Breaking Point Crystal Ball that I just showed you. Is this, where is it? Let me see. Maybe this isn't the one. I hope this is the one. I think this is the one. Let me see.
Again, if this were to actually go to court, right? If the Democrats were to actually try to impeach the most obvious criminal, fucking impeach him, remove him, arrest him. What are we waiting on? This is so fucking crazy. What a fake system we have here. What a joke. Checks and balances might.
I concur. There should not even be, this shit should already be on the floor for votes. And nobody has put forth any serious articles of impeachment. There has been no talk. The Democrats are way too quiet, and that's why anybody who has their mouth shut needs to be voted out of office, because this is disgusting what is going on and the ramification that it is going to have for everyday people who are not getting free money from Israel and their lobbyists. AIPAC.
Ass cheeks. And then finally, I'll go to this one. Trump did an interview with Fox News, and he was talking to Dana Perino here, who's like something special. So stop with this disease is another symptom of this is repetition and fixation.
So you got a lot of losers, mostly losers, fortunately.
Ask me anything you want. You can ask me about sex. What we're witnessing. Next, again, further evidence of behavioral disinhibition.
He's talking about Alzheimer's.
Here's another behavioral
Obviously, this isn't the one that I wanted. I apologize. Oh, here it is. That wasn't the one.
All right, welcome to the show, y'all. And boy, oh boy.
I apologize. This is the one that I wanted to show. I was like, why is he not talking about anything that I am talking about the someone retiring from the UN to be able to warn the alarm about nukes possibly being used in this war. This is in my description box under nuke. That first one that I played, if you want to enjoy yourself, it is in the description box under nukes already as well.
We have a lot to get to. So in just a second, I'm not kidding when I say this, even though it sounds like a nightmare. The UN is officially preparing for a nuclear exchange, for nuclear war. That's how devastating this is. In fact, we have people resigning from the UN to sound the alarm and basically be a whistleblower and say, this is how uncharted this territory is that we're currently in. So we'll talk about that. We also have Trump is now saying the quiet part out loud yet again. He's openly saying and admitting that his goal here is to steal Iran's oil in the same way he's stealing Venezuela's oil. We have certain parts of a desalination plant being hit already. You guys know that this can eventually get to the point where all the desalination plants are hit and the Middle East becomes uninhabitable. So, again, to say that this is a dire warning or a dire situation is the understatement of the century. I also have just countless examples of Trump's brain is officially degrading into rotten mush right in front of our eyes. We have a desperate Joe Rogan panicking and trying to distance himself from MAGA and throwing spirals into the Greater Depression, which we're on the brink of at the moment. Okay. And so Trump is just day after day manipulating the market. Now, sometimes he manipulates it just so that him and Kushner and Witkoff and his idiot sons can basically profit off of it and make millions of dollars off of pain and suffering. And sometimes he's manipulating it just to try to stave off a massive crash. And so he came out at the beginning of this week and he said the following: the United States of America is in serious discussions with a new and more reasonable regime to end our military operations in Iran. Great progress has been made, but for any reason a deal is not shortly reached, which it probably will be, and if the Hormuz Strait is not immediately open for business, we will conclude our lovely stay in Iran by blowing up and completely obliterating all of their electric generating plants, oil wells, and Karg Island, and possibly all desalination plants. So just openly saying, I'm the war criminal man and I'm going to commit endless war crimes, just so all of you know. He says, which we have purposely not yet touched. This will be in retribution for our many soldiers and others that Iran has butchered and killed over the old regime's 47-year reign of terror. Thank you for your attention to this matter. So, as predicted, he did the thing. He came out and said, everything's actually going great, to calm the markets. Well, guess what? It's not working like it used to because people caught on to the game that every Monday he says everything's great. Then every Friday when the market shuts, he basically starts bombing everything in sight and committing war crime.
Okay, let me get to the portion that I wanted to get to. I apologize.
Iran has no real defense there. Quote, I don't think they have any defense. We could take it very easily. He acknowledges it would require occupation. Quote, it would also mean we had to be there for a while. Gets at this on Sunday night or Monday situation. So take a look at this. The S&P 500 has now erased we all base in Saudi Arabia, injuring 10 U.S. service members and damaging here massive and which is World War III. He's been golfing nonstop at Mar-a-Lago and basically hiding down in South Florida. I mean, you literally can't make this stuff up. He spent $100 million so far this second term golfing. And by Spence Day, lie about it after the fact. That's a super important point. So look at this. New image reportedly showing the USAF E-3 Sentry destroyed in an Iranian attack at Prince Sultan Air Base on Friday. Okay? For fact, this is point, and they overstate numbers as gravity of the situation as the UN is preparing for possible nuclear weapon use in Iran.
Okay, here we go.
So Mohammed Safed, the Iranian government has a much better track record of telling the truth than the U.S. government at this point. So Mohammed Safed says the following. Previously with the UN, he says, I don't think people understand the gravity of the situation as the UN is preparing for possible nuclear weapon use in Iran. This is a picture of Tehran for you uneducated, untraveled, never served war hawks licking your chops at the thought of bombing it. It's not some low population desert. There are families, children, family pets, regular working class people with dreams. You're sick to want war. Tehran is a city of nearly 10 million people. Imagine nuking Washington, Berlin, Paris, London, or beyond, bombed with nuclear weapons. I gave up my diplomatic career to leak this information. He gave up his career to say, they're prepping for nuclear war, not telling anybody about it. I suspended my duties so as to not be part of or witness to this crime against humanity in an attempt to prevent a nuclear winter before it's too late. Yesterday, nearly 10 million people protested No Kings in the United States. The possibility of the use of nuclear weapons must be taken very seriously. It's dangerous. Act now. Spread this message worldwide. Take to the streets. Protest for our humanity and future. Only the people can stop it. History will remember. And this is what I keep telling you. Trump is going to order this ground invasion. It's going to be an absolute catastrophe. You're going to have countless dead American soldiers. Then to try to save face, he's going to say, nuke them. That's what's going to happen. And everybody's acting like this is not the juncture that we're at. It is. It absolutely is. And now you have people who were employed by the UN going, hey, by the way, here's what's in the works. And everybody's just acting like it's a normal day, like it's a normal time. And by the way, look, yes, this is a picture of Tehran. Look at what Tehran looks like. They're considering nuking this. I told you in the first term, Trump considered nuking hurricanes because he thought maybe it'll stop them in their tracks. And he had to get talked out of it by the...
Let's be serious. He actually said, could they nuke, I forget what big hurricane was on the horizon. Your idiot president wanted to try to nuke the hurricane to stop it from coming to shore. So, do you think that he will not nuke Iranian people?
The adults in the room. Well, now there are no adults in the room. There's none. So this is, God, I struggle to find the words to adequately get across to you this current place that we're in. Okay, the 30-year Treasury yield closed at 4.98%, getting very close to the highest level since the run-up to the global financial crisis. So we are on the brink of something big, something massive. Everybody feels it. Everybody knows it. And it's about to unfold, and all of the signs are there. All right, from Dropsite News. Report, BBC verifies, says footage and expert analysis indicate a U.S. precision strike missile was likely used in the March 9th strike on a sports hall in Lamerd, Iran, where children were training, killing at least 21 people, including young girls. High-resolution satellite imagery reviewed by BBC shows the sports hall and nearby residential buildings destroyed, while the adjacent IRGC compound appears to have remained undamaged, okay? So, absolutely devastating. The more time goes by, the more evidence of war crimes comes out. Breaking, the USS Tripoli has arrived in the Middle East carrying 3,500 sailors and Marines amid reports that the U.S. is preparing for a potential ground operation in Iran, per CNN. Now remember, they have a total of 50,000 troops on call for Operation Epstein Fury. 50,000. All right, breaking. Power cut in Tehran and elsewhere following attacks on energy facilities in Tehran, Iran's Ministry of Energy says. So,
okay, so go over there and check out Kyle Kalinske. If you like the news that you heard, if you don't like the news that you heard, hit a thumbs up or a thumb down on this channel. I appreciate you guys coming over to converse. We can agree to disagree, but do not be disrespectful in my chat. That is all that I ask. Hit the like button on your way out if you would like to support the channel. You can do a super chat. You can become a member. You can cash out $RonyiQ, and you can come back on tomorrow. I will not be here at 8 in the morning as usual. I have an appointment. I may come back in the afternoon, but if there is nothing breaking, I will see you guys on Thursday. So tomorrow's up in the air for me, unfortunately, but I appreciate your support. Like, share. You can comment in my comment section after the video. So tell a friend. Take a what is this? Shake a hand. Tell a friend. Tell a friend where you get some news that you may not be privy to in the watching of for-profit media. This is the only reason I'm here, is to share things with you that you may not have heard in the regular media. I always try to cite my sources. I am not here to spread disinformation. I just feel that it is important that we really know what is really going on in the United States. There is one more. I've been talking about how people in other countries have been told that they have to do rationings. I want to tell you exactly where I am getting that from before I leave, because I think that it is important to know that we need to act seriously in the position that we find ourselves in the world, and stop taking everything so lightly. We are in serious times right now. Hold on 1 second. Let me share this last link with you.
They're saying fully loaded at time of attack. I want to give you an update of what's going on. And first, there was an oil tanker, I guess, was attacked. They're saying fully loaded at time of attack. And I'm sure you guys understand that the severity of this. This is at port in Dubai. We just received statement from the Kuwaiti Petroleum Corporation saying that the giant crude oil tanker Al Salmi was subjected to an Iranian attack while it was in Dubai port. They are saying the tanker was fully loaded at the time of the incident and that the attack resulted in material damage to the ship's hull. A fire broke out on board following the attack, with possible oil leakage into the surrounding waters. And this is just one of many things that are going on. I'm trying to give you an update on everything, but it's hard. There's just so much chaos, and I also want to talk with you guys about this stuff like just normal people. I don't want to see this stuff continue, but it's like, when is this going to end? The markets are now just opening up here in Asia. It says Asia Pacific markets fall as Iran war keeps investors jittery. Oil extends gains, right? So oil's up, markets are down. And again, our markets just opened up about a few minutes ago here in Asia. Brent crude, I was just checking, I think it's like 115 at the moment, is ticking up though. And then WTI is above 100. First time since 2022. And then you tune over to sort of what's going on with the war. It says massive explosion seen tonight in central Iranian city of Isfahan, following airstrikes by Israel and or the United States. So you don't know exactly who's attacking, but you do know that Iran's getting hit, and you can just see right there. And it's just the endless cycle of violence, as you guys know. And we got to put a stop to this insanity. The damage is affecting so many people's lives. I'll just put it in that way. And this is coming out today from the Financial Times. Pete Hegseth broker looked to buy defense fund before Iran attack. So basically, they were looking to profit off this stuff because, like,
now I need to let you know that this man is originally from somewhere in the Portland, Oregon area. He lives in Korea now. Now, this embarrassment of Pete Hegseth trying to profit over the war is embarrassing Americans across the globe, is my point.
Obviously, if you are on the inside, literally, if you're Hegseth, then you're looking to, raise money for whatever, get government contracts to whoever, right? You got the inside track of this stuff. In my opinion, all this stuff should be illegal. I think it should be obvious. But this is who these people are. This is all you need to know. And even Eric Trump, like, it's all public, this stuff. Eric Trump, Palm Beach International Airport is now officially, quote, President Donald J. Trump International Airport. So while there's a war going on and it's just bombing and oil tankers on fire, we're naming airports after Trump. That's what they're talking about. Or this is Eric also is talking about, he's got some sort of library thing. First look, the Donald J. Trump Presidential Library is officially here. Over the past 6 months, I've poured my heart and soul into this project with my incredible team at Trump.
Library.
Seriously, that's what they're talking about. Like,
library.
Haig says, like, hey, I need the profile of this stuff. I got to call my broker. Hurry, right? And then Eric's talking about airports and Trump libraries. And if you want to go through this whole thing, you can, but it's ridiculous as it sounds, right? Trump library and plane in the building.
That's a library from the administration that is taking books out of libraries. That is, are they going to have little plastic envelopes in the library so his brother Don Jr. will visit the library? What could possibly, how many books could they possibly put in this library? I'm very curious as they are taking books out of libraries. Oh God, these people have no self-reflection, no common decency.
The building, great. I will say this though, guys, and I always want to show you this stuff. MAGA people are calling this stuff out. This is actually MAGA person, and they're watching soldiers march here, and it says, "What the F are we doing? My son will never die for a foreign country. I voted for you 3 times." So this is a Trumper, right? Voted for Trump 3 times, took abuse and fought for you, and this is what you do. You do the exact opposite of what you railed against for over a decade. So this shows, I guess, soldiers going off to war, basically, is what this stuff is. And there's been a lot of footage of this stuff lately. I was noticing online of be it either planes or cargo ships or just people marching, going off to war. This is another MAGA person, and this person here, I think, represents what a lot of MAGA people are going to end up doing, is basically just walking away from the stuff entirely. So I don't think necessarily they're going to vote blue, but I think they're just not going to show up ever again. I think that's my opinion. And listen to what he says. So this person's like, this is Doc House Forever. He says, voting doesn't matter. This is his opinion. I want to make sure it's clear. This is his opinion. Voting doesn't matter. And I knew that prior to 2016, but I decided to take a chance on Donald Trump because he seemed like he was different. And here we are, 2 election cycles later. I voted for him 3 times, 2016, 2020, 2024. And I realized, yeah, it was all BS. Albert Pike effing said, that when the people want a hero, we shall give them one. So the world was like, oh yeah, give us Donald Trump. The people give us Donald Trump. We want Trump, right? He's going to save us. He's going to change everything. No, the F, he isn't. He's part of the same class, the same type of satanic effing lunatics that rule the world. It's all effing show. That's all it is. Voting doesn't matter, etc. So that's this guy's point of view. So I disagree with him. I think voting does matter. I mean, clearly voting has consequences, right? And the problem is there's a large segment of the population, I'm sure you know, but I'm just showing you who they are, that it's just a rally. They're desperate, they have no hope, and they're easily fooled by con artists, right? And then for these kind of people, this is just USA how it is. They'll look at someone else and be like, man, that other person, they just don't look the right way. I need to find someone that just looks the right way, right? That looks like me or looks like Donald Trump. They got to look the right way. If you don't understand what I'm talking about, these people just want white dudes, okay?
Oh yeah, we know they just want white dudes. This isn't the video that I want, however. Let me
Okay. I make it really, really clear if you don't understand. And it's hard because, like, how do you remedy this kind of stuff? It's the most frustrating thing. And it's rampant on YouTube as well. There's some people that see my channel say, Chris just doesn't look the right way. I could never listen to a guy who doesn't, look the way I need him to look, And that's who these people are. It's sick,
they're
it's
racist.
wrong, but
They're racist. Period. They're racist, and they're trying to spread their racism and white nationalism under the guise of Christianity by calling it Christian nationalism. It's a bunch of bullshit. It's a bunch of racist ass bullshit. Now I think this is the one. Let me see.
wrong, but it is what it is. However, at least they're waking up to realize I'm just not going to participate. And I'm sure you guys understand that the severity of this attack while it was in the waters. And it's like, when is this going to end? 100. First time since 2022. And then you tune over to...
I want to hear about... I can't find it. I'll find it tomorrow. The rationing that is going on in different states. He is the one who I first heard about it, but unfortunately I can't find the video.
Okay, so I want to give you an update of what's going on in the Middle East.
What's going on today?
So apparently...
Let me see one more.
So gas is now over $4 a gallon, and that's the average price in USA. And that's your headlines. This is the highest since 2022. Again, $4 a gallon. I guess yesterday, March 30th, was $3.99. So gas is now over $4 a gallon, and that's the average price in USA. And that's your headlines. This is the highest since 2022. Again, $4 a gallon, and it's all basically Trump's Iran war. That's what we're talking about today. And let me show you guys the map. I also want to hear from you what you're paying. Does this sound right? And again, our average is $4.02. So I guess yesterday, March 30th, was $3.99. Today, March 31st, is $4.02. That is your average price. Now, it depends what state you're in, okay? So the West Coast seems to have it the worst. Let's see, I'm kind of curious myself. So Arizona is $6 diesel. California, $7.46 diesel. Dang. Regular gas, $5.89 in California. So I wonder if California's the highest. Probably is. Arizona, $4.68. Regular for Nevada, $4.93. Oregon, $4.93. Washington, $5.33. Yeah, so California is probably the highest in the country. And it may depend on which city you're in, be it like in LA or San Francisco. Please let us know what you guys are paying over there. But for $4, you guys are probably like, where'd you get $4? that's a And basically, as we just talked about in the last video, my wife and I were talking about it, This came out from the Wall Street Journal. Trump tells aides he's willing to end the war without reopening Hormuz. And this is interesting because you're going to get a conflicting message on this. So one, he has bombing, like this massive bomb just yesterday, basically. And then you get this, right? So Trump's being pulled in different directions. Gulf allies privately make the case to Trump to keep fighting until Iran is decisively defeated. And so this is where you're going to really see Trump's true colors here, right? Which handler is he going to listen to the most? Because he does get different donations from different countries and such like that. So it's not necessarily just one country that he's working for. It could be any number. Maybe like one comes up and is like, hey, Trump, I got this new gold, plane, new statue.
It's pathetic when they say it's not. He says it's just not one country he's working for. It should be one, and the one country he should be working for is the United States. But he's working for every other a nation that can give his grubby little greedy hands some personal wealth. It has all of your potential for spreading wealth, for handing down wealth to your children, even having children to hand wealth down to, if your children are in this military, are dwindling by the day. So thanks for joining me today. I'll find the video that I was looking for. Go over there and check out Chris Norland. He does great content. He doesn't look like the white nationalist, but he definitely is. Well, I don't know. He has definitely lived in America, in the Pacific South Northwest. So go over there and check him out. I like his content. So I hope you guys have a fabulous day. If I do not see you on tomorrow, I will definitely see you on Thursday. All right. Bye-bye.